This analogy is a perspective angle, a degree for conscious awakening. The illustration of Adam and Eve was never about two humans in a garden. It was never about an apple, a talking snake, or disobedience. That's the illusion. Here's the spiritual science. Adam and Eve were not human. They were symbols of consciousness split into masculine and feminine principles, identifying the polarities of source-like beings, fully aware, with no ego, no fear, no body. They existed in unity consciousness, pure oneness, with no judgment, no shame, and no illusion. But oneness has a limit. You can't evolve if everything is the same. You can't choose if there's nothing to choose between. So the soul hypothetically said, let me experience contrast, let me descend, let me forget or fail to recall. Then enter the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It is not a literal tree, but a symbol of duality and activation. To eat the fruit was to say, I'm ready mentally to experience all of it, light, darkness, pain, and pleasure. Let me walk through the illusion so I can return with wisdom. The serpent is not the devil. It is Kundalini, which is DNA, the coded awakening buried deep inside you. Religion demonized the snake and presented a polarized view from a negative aspect. Because once you activate that inner knowing, you don't need a gatekeeper to activate the crystallized Christ consciousness by the grace of the universal spiritual overmind. So when Eve ate the fruit, she didn't doom the world. She awakened it. She saw herself. She became aware. Ego entered, separation began, and that was the fall. It wasn't punishment. It was a dimensional descent. Spirit entered form. Consciousness became flesh, and earth became the classroom for remembering. That's why you forget when you're born from the matrix of your mother's womb into the material world, descending from the cosmos, the divine word, the logos. Because if you remembered everything, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't search, you wouldn't transform, and that's the whole point. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to experience, to rise, to return, to resurrect internally, not because you were broken, but because you were chosen. No more illusion, just the truth. And now you remember beyond the programming of the simulation.